Hi, and welcome to the Rubber Room. It's Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. This is a really weird time and day for me to be on here doing my Create with Chris Live. I did reschedule it from Monday night to tonight because I wanted to share with you the unboxing of my pre-order. Unfortunately, my pre-order didn't make it here. So I'm going to share another card with you. Hi Debbie, thanks for tuning in. I was really hoping to have my pre-order here, but it will be here soon, I'm sure. Hi Barb, hi Lori, thanks for watching, gals. I am going to share a card with you. I did put my updated calendar out for both the rest of May and the beginning of June. Well, all of June. I actually have decided that I'm going to be continuing to do everything virtually or online through at least the end of June. And that includes the first weekend in June, a retreat in a box for an entire weekend. So my calendar is out there, and any of you that are picking up catalogs or that are mailing catalogs too, I will include the calendar in that also. So today we are going to be making a card with the By the Dock bundle. That's the stamp set that I'm featuring in my Cards for Chris class this, I guess it's on May 20th. And we're going to make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 different designs using this stamp set. This is the By the Dock stamp set, and it has coordinating dies that go with it. And you can order them now. These are the dies. So you have the dock and the oars and some grass. There's a canoe in there, a little frog, some birds, lots of fun things in those dies. This is bundled in the mini catalog. It's on page 49, and here's some great samples with it too. Let's get them over this way so you can see them. Lots of great samples. And it is going to be in the new catalog, both the dies and the stamp set. I have to concentrate because I'm constantly calling them framelits, and they're not framelits anymore, they're dies. So they are going to be in the new catalog, but they won't be bundled in there. So if you want to save that 10%, you do need to order them now before the new catalog comes out in June. And we're going to do a little bit of coloring today. This is the card that we're going to make. And this is not one of the cards that we are going to be doing on the 20th in class. This is one that's different. So let me turn you guys down. Yours is still in picking bar. Mine is too. They sent my catalogs, and so I had a tracking date with those, and I was mistaken. I thought that they sent my whole order. So I'm still in picking too. But hopefully soon I will be out of picking and into tracking. Hang on, and I will turn you guys down, and we'll do a little bit of stamping. Okay, if I go, I have to do this a little bit that way. And I think if I go here, I should be good so you guys can see me over this way. Okay, perfect. We'll try and stay right here so you can see. And I do have my pieces all cut and prepped. So this is crumb cake, and it is the 8.5 by 4 1/4 and then scored. So I'm sorry, it's 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 5.5, so that we get our card base. And then this is the Settles Designer Series paper that comes in a 6 by 6. It is retiring and out of stock, but we will get a new style of paper. It'll just have different patterns on it in the new catalog when it comes out. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on here. Our snail adhesive is also retiring, and I'm going to really miss that. You get used to it, and then you're sad to see it go. So I did stock up and ordered a couple of these to have on hand. And then I have another piece of crumb cake. And this one is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle of my card. Just going to center it right on there. And then I'm going to stamp my image. So I'm going to set this one aside for now. And I'm going to stamp my image in this Memento Tuxedo Black because I'm going to use my blends to color it. So I'm going to start with my words at the top. Didn't turn my water off and now it's dripping. I'm wondering where the heck is that noise coming from? Okay, so I'm going to ink up my words and stamp them right at the very top. And these to say, I'll always look up to you no matter how much I've grown. That's kind of a nice sentiment, especially for Father's Day, right? And then this one is kind of the grass and the weedy part of it. So I'm going to stamp it over here to start, and then I'm going to need a little bit more. So I'm going to line it up right there and stamp again. And then I'm going to need some birds. And let's do one here. Kind of over here. And then down a little bit. There we go. Just kind of random stamp those on there. And then I'm going to take our blends and start off with our light crumb cake. Our blends are sold either light or dark or in a combo. And a combo is the light and the dark together. And you can buy them individually now, but in the new catalog, they're going to be bundled. So if you want just to stock up on just a couple of light colors or a couple of dark colors that you know you use more often, then you would use them in a combination pack. You want to do that now before the new catalog comes out. And these do have a little nub end, and then they have a brush tip end. And you don't want to, you just want to kind of color at an angle and lightly. When you press down really hard with these, you're going to get this kind of blunt end. Can you guys see that? It's just kind of all smushed in, and so that one's really, really hard to color with. So I keep this one just for the blunt end and don't use that one anymore. So you want to be kind of gentle with them. And I'm going to use my blunt end and color just my birds really quickly. And I find I'm not really exact about the coloring on this because we want it to look kind of like sky and grass, and it doesn't have to be exact. You can, with your coloring, make it look like it's a really windy day or chilly day, depending on if you're going to use a light color or a dark color. And I'm going to start with my light color. I always start with my lightest color first because you can always go darker, but you can't go lighter. Just like cutting. I always start with my bigger piece because I can always go smaller, but I can't take my smaller piece and go bigger with it. So I'm going to take my blunt end with my light one and just color these. They look like maybe cattails or grass pieces. I think this one could actually be a flower if you wanted it to. We have some little stones down there. And I'm just kind of giving them a little dotted. And you can, again, you could do these in gray, you could do them in craft, but I'm just going to do them in light green. And then I'm going to color the dark green on top of that and just kind of blend it. So, oh, and I can see I missed just one little blade of grass kind of thing there. Okay. And then I'm going to take my darker color, move it over here where you can see it a little better. And I'm just going to kind of give it a little up and down swooshy in there. And like I said, I'm not worried about staying inside the lines or being really smooth with it. But while that ink is still wet, I'm going to follow it up with my light. And that's just going to blend those colors together. You always want to do this on a piece of scrap paper because your color is going to bleed through. And like I said, you don't want to give it a lot of pressure because you don't want to make your tip all blunt. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of go right to where I put that darker line and just kind of blend it in there until I get a nice smooth kind of look there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my blue. This was Old Olive, so I started with Crumb Cake, moved to Old Olive, and now I'm going to do a Pool Party. And I'm going to start again with the light because you can always go darker, but you can't go lighter. And I'm going to take my nub end and just kind of color in around my birds. Not actually touching them, just kind of giving them a quick outline so that when I go in and color with my brush tip, I'm not going to have to worry about stepping and getting a good line in there. So I'm just going to kind of give it a leg outline like that. And then I'm going to go in with my brush tip. And sometimes I would color in a circle pattern. But for this, because I want it to look kind of like the sky, and you know how the sky is with the different shapes from clouds, and it's just not a smooth, even color as we go along. So I'm just going to color in real lightly. Come down and meet my grass. This marker is getting kind of dry. So I actually will color in with that and connect it all up. I'm not going to put color on my words because I want those kind of pop a little bit. If I don't color them, that will help them to pop a little more. Okay, so I'm going to take my newer one and see if it has a little more ink in it. I just have a couple blends. Oh yeah, that one's much better. Sticking around because I don't want to run out of color with these. And you can see how it's just kind of building layer on layer of color there. There we go. I am going to just use a little bit of my darker Pool Party and just kind of color a little bit around in here. So it gives it just a little bit of shading down there. I'm going to go back in with my light one and just blend that in there. And I'm doing that in a little more of a circular motion so that it kind of blends it. I want a real smooth blend line there. So I'm going in more of a circular motion. And you can see it'll just blend it and smooth it all out. And I've got two really good layers of color on there going kind of in all directions. So this will blend that dark right in together with the light and just smooth it all out. There we go. Guess I'm kind of missing this edge over here. There. Okay, and when I said that it would bleed onto the back, I'm just going to flip this over and show you. See how messy it is back there? They just bleed right through, so you do need to be sure you have it on scrap paper. And then I think I'll pop this up just because the card doesn't have a lot of dimension to it. So we'll just add some dimensionals on the back of it. This makes a really good, this stamp set makes really good masculine cards. And it's also good, I'm going to put it like that. So it's going to open the right way. It makes good masculine cards, sympathy cards. I like, my sister has a lake house, so I like to send her boating things. So you can do it and make it either masculine or feminine. And like I said, my class is going to be on Thursday the 20th. And it is $15 for your 8 cards, or it's free with a $25 purchase. So if you didn't have the stamp set, you could purchase this stamp set, and then your class would be free. And here we go. How about that, you guys? Do you like that one? And here's the one we started with. This card was actually designed by my friend and upline, Rhonda Wade. She is doing a training, and as part of her training has a class with, I think, 5 different cards in it, 5 different masculine cards, and this happens to be one of those cards. So I will leave a hostess code up in my comments section, and when you order this month, we're still doing celebration items. So if you have a minimum $50 order, you get to pick from my celebration stash. Hi, Adrian. You found me. I'm so glad you found me. I like it when you find me and you didn't even have to call. That's amazing. I'm glad that you're here with us. And Jacqueline, it's so good to see you guys. We'll be stamping on Zoom for most of my classes, so we'll get to be a little more interactive than this. But thanks for tuning in. I hope you liked my card, and I hope to see you all again on Monday. And who knows, you might be unpacking my box of pre-order goodies by then. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.